Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jack, and welcome back to another video. So for this week's video, I'm bringing you guys a very casual one, but also a very chatty one. I'm going to be telling you guys about my virtual college orientation experience, specifically my one at San Jose State University. I will be attending San Jose State in the fall of 2020, and I will be a freshman. In order to actually attend the school, you have to go through the process of going through an online orientation in order to be able to select your classes and actually learn a little bit more about the school before you actually dive into your college experience. And that is what I went through a week before this video was posted. My orientation session was July 7th through the 8th, so it was a little 2-day session. A year prior to having my actual own orientation experience, I was researching on YouTube and stuff people's orientation experiences at San Jose State, and I did that because honestly I love getting super hyped about new experiences, and something that excites me is just seeing people's experiences so that I know to prepare for, and that's what I'm trying to bring you guys with this video, especially if you will be attending San Jose State University in the fall as well, or maybe another CSU, because I'm sure everyone's virtual orientation will be a little bit similar. So this video is mainly aimed for those that are having orientation sessions within the next couple of weeks before school actually starts, or maybe if you're just interested on how the actual virtual experience went, because I know it's very different at other states because other states shelter-in-place orders aren't as strict as California's, so that is why most people may be going back to school actually in person, but most schools in California, like state schools, will be online for the first semester, which sucks, but it's fine. It's quite understandable, and I feel like it's probably safer to do so this way. So hopefully in spring I'll be able to go onto campus, and maybe if you guys are also going to San Jose State, you can drop by and like say hi to me. I'll be sure to say hi back. Don't worry, I'm always trying to make new friends, especially with the new school. So anyways, I'm kind of just going on a tangent right now, but let's actually get into what this video is going to be about. So I'm just going to give you guys a little rundown on everything that went on throughout the last 2 days and what you guys should expect for your own orientation session. So make sure to grab a snack, sit back, relax, and let's just get right into the video. So I actually have my laptop right here because I'm kind of going to be looking off at my confirmation letter for the orientation just so that I can have a refresher on what actually happened in the last 2 days, because it was kind of like a lot of information thrown at me at once. If you guys are going to San Jose State, a week prior to the actual orientation, you'll be sent a confirmation letter that has all the details of those 2 days for you to just look through, and there will be a bunch of links that you can just register for. For example, I have a bunch of links here with Zooms and webinars that I have to register for. Make sure to do those when you have the letter in front of you, and you will be sent this through your my SJSU account. So that's what happened, and I was just super hyped after receiving this, because after receiving this I found out that orientation would only be until 2 p.m. which was like chef's kiss, so nice, because it is a 2-day experience, and I was like, I don't want to be staring at my laptop all day, because I know in person the orientation would be all day, like a full day event, but since it's online, it's just going to be from around 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. So that was such a refresher on me, and I was so hyped for that. So that's just like how the timing is going to work, and I'm sure it's going to be similar for every orientation session. So that was a week prior. A couple days before my actual session, was on the Tuesday, I received an email from my orientation leader. My orientation leader was actually Andrew. He was super cool and laid back, so that was awesome. So he sent me an email with a link to another Zoom that wasn't mandatory but really suggested, that basically was like a pre-orientation meeting where we got to just know each other a little bit more before just diving into more icebreakers during the orientation days. I attended that meeting on Monday, July 6th, and we just had a couple of icebreakers and like getting to know each other games, because the group usually is going to be around 20 students, but only like 9 showed up to this meeting, which is honestly fine because I'm sure it probably got lost between people's emails, but it was me and like around 8 other students, and we just got to know each other a little bit more. And all the students in my group were in the business major, because I originally am a business and marketing major, but I'm actually in the process of trying to change my major, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm pretty sure most orientation groups will be made up of people in your same major, which is pretty cool, and like your same school. So I found that pretty awesome, and just got to let you connect with people that are interested in the same field as you. Moving on to the next day, which was actually day 1 of orientation. I woke up around 8:30 in the morning because we had to check in with our orientation leaders from 8:50 to 9 a.m. That's pretty early, I know, but you honestly don't have to be looking your best. So I woke up at 8:30 with no problems and jumped right onto the Zoom. Nothing really happened during this 10-minute span because it was just Andrew, my orientation leader, just collecting all of our names so that we can be present for the day, like on our attendance. So make sure you show up on time though, because if you aren't there, that's going to be a very bad sign on your part, and ultimately could eventually maybe end to you not being able to actually attend the school. So make sure you are very punctual with with your timing on here. If you have any internet connection problems or anything, honestly, it's fine. Just let like the school know, or just stay in the meeting even if you like can't really see what's going on. So that is just a little tip I have. But anyways, right at 9 a.m. we jumped into actually doing more icebreakers. So this ran from around 9 a.m. to 9:45. And this is where we once again introduce ourselves with people that weren't in the meeting previously the day before, and we just had a couple of icebreakers just talking about where we came from. And I actually have a video of that like a little snippet of me talking about myself. Okay, hi, I'm Jacqueline, or Jackie, either or. I'm from California, which is a good like hour and a half from San Jose. My major / concentration is business and marketing, and I chose SJSU because it's not too far from home, but also far from home, and there's a lot to do on campus and around it. So that's honestly pretty awkward, but I feel like icebreakers are kind of something you should expect, especially if you're going to a new school. I know icebreakers aren't everyone's favorite. They're not my favorite, but it's good to kind of pre-plan your answers, which is another tip. That is basically what happened within that 45-minute time span. It was a lot of just icebreakers. Moving along into the next activity, from 9:45 a.m. to 11 a.m. we had another little webinar on Zoom, and this is basically where it was a pre-recorded video. You didn't have to talk with anyone. It was just a video talking about what to expect when actually going to school and what to expect within the next couple of sessions and activities you're gonna do during the orientation. So that was pretty cool. 45 minutes. Honestly, I was kind of almost falling asleep during this part just because you didn't have to talk. So I was kind of falling asleep, but that's about my part. My eyes were just like kind of closing. So that is that, and that was pretty just kind of boring, but also very informational. Once again, it's a lot of information being thrown at you at once, so kind of overwhelming, but just take a little bit of notes maybe and you'll be good. I didn't, but in case you want to. Moving along into the next activity, from 11 to 12 we went back to our orientation groups, and this is where we did more icebreakers. But for this one, it was a little bit different because we weren't talking to all of our group. My orientation leader, Andrew, actually split us up into break rooms, which is where on Zoom you can be separated into other little mini groups before being like brought together as one. So in here we basically did like little activities and games where we just found different things like in common or different from each other. So the first thing, it was like find a couple of things that you guys have all in common. The next one was find something that you guys don't have in common at all. And then the other question was like, if you could move around for the rest of your life or stay in the place where you grew up, which one would you do? And then as a group we came together and did 2 truths and a lie, kind of based on everything you said with your mini groups during that whole little session. And I was super honestly kind of like nervous for that one just because I suck at doing 2 truths and a lie. I hate being put on the spot for that. So honestly, while other people were going, I was like writing down my own 2 truths and a lie, but actually we ran out of time, so I didn't have to do it, which I was kind of happy about. That is just an example of what we did during the groups. Maybe you guys are gonna have little different activities, but that's what we did in mine, and I found it really fun and cool to connect with a couple more students, especially a little more like intimately kind of, since it was smaller mini group. So I was kind of nervous, but when I'm nervous I kind of just start like bringing up conversation. I feel like some people in my like mini groups weren't as talkative. I had these 2 people though, and they were like so chill to talk to. I love those people that you can just like bounce conversation off of each other. Like those are my favorite type of people. But that is that, and that's kind of what happened in that session. Right after that ended, it was a lunch break period, which is so nice, and it was just from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. so it was a good hour. So right after lunch, from around 1 p.m. to 2, we had a little advising overview with all our academic advisors on what would be happening the next day and just resources to help you navigate through college. So with that, I received an email here by Christian Piazza, which is one of the academic advisors, and this email just contained a Frosh orientation booklet, which would allow us to look at all the different type of classes offered on campus, especially for us who have a harder time navigating it, obviously because we're new, and especially since I am a first-generation college student, I had no idea on what to do for classes and like what things meant. So this booklet was really helpful, and meeting with the academic advisors was awesome. But anyways, like I was saying, I received a little worksheet where I was able to plan out different classes that I would be able to take, and a problem I ran into here was that it claimed that I had to take my RCW still in order to register for your English class, which is another tip. Make sure to complete your reflection on college writing a week at least prior to the orientation session, or else you won't be able to register for English right away. So like I was saying, it said that I didn't complete it, but I did like a week prior. So I just emailed one of the advisors and I was all good and I was able to register. So thumbs up, thank goodness. But anyways, in the meeting, like I was saying, they just gave a brief overview on how registering for classes would work, and they played a couple of videos on how to register and how to find classes, which was really helpful and super nice. And then they also talked about different services that the campus campus offered, which was very helpful because as being the eldest like child who doesn't have any siblings that have attended college yet, I was super lost on like everything that relates to college. So that was super nice, and they just talked about how like academic advising could really help you out for the next 4 years and like finding career choices and just like helping you out with classes. And then at the end of that, they had a Q&A session where everyone got to ask a little question, which is super awesome. But I did run into a little problem with that because I had the problem about the RCW, and I was trying to ask the question, and so were like a couple of other people, but they didn't really touch on that, which I was super stressed about. But thank God they gave us the email for the academic advisors. So that's that. I just had a little bit like of an issue with that. And after 2 p.m. we were all done with first day of orientation, which is so nice because I had the rest of my day to do other stuff like look for classes or honestly just like do YouTube crap. So that's that. Moving along into day 2 of Sparta Camp, which is the orientation name. We had to be online and in a presentation by 9 a.m. So once again, I woke up at 8:30 in the morning. Once we got onto the presentation, it was basically just a college welcome, and this is where we would get more advice time with our advisors and also be able to register for our classes, which I was so happy about finally, because I feel like that's what college is about, kind of like finding your classes finally, and I was super excited for that. So first up, we had a little presentation by one of the School of Business advisors, which was super nice because I am technically right now in the School of Business, so that is that. But it's not just the School of Business registering, it's actually all of the students in this session, so it's definitely a little fight to get classes, but I eventually was able to get mine, so thank God. But after that little presentation, which was around like 20 minutes, we were split into different groups on what pertained to each person. So me, I'm trying to change my major. I know it's like really crazy, but I was just trying to do so much research on this, and I finally just got a little taste of the process. So I was split into a group with this advisor named Valerie. In here, we got a little bit of advice on the process of being able to change your major, because at San Jose State, most of the majors are impacted. Basically, it's really competitive to get into a certain major. So for example, like business and engineering, those are really difficult to get into. I wanted to get out of business and actually switch to advertising. As you guys know, I got into San Jose State with the business and marketing major, and I want to go into advertising, which is a little bit different but almost the same, because I do want to take the concentration of marketing and communications. So I still want to stay in the marketing realm, but I want to move on to advertising just because their classes seem way more interesting than the business ones, and I feel like I could actually see myself learning a lot more in those. So that is why I decided to change my major, and hopefully we'll be able to do so. So with this advisor, she was able to drop my business courses, which was so nice because I was originally in econ and a business class, but now I was able to change it to intro to advertising and a stats math class that was a requirement for my major. And with her, I was also able to choose other classes that I could use to fulfill most of my general education requirements, because as a freshman and sophomore, you were basically just mainly working on classes for your gen eds before you actually move into upper division classes like junior and senior year, which should actually be a lot more classes pertaining to the major. But that's what I did during the session with her. I know if you don't want to change your major, you will be in other sessions. I think there's another one that was with another advisor that just talked about more about like services and stuff, and the other people would just be split up into different groups back with their orientation leaders. So I wasn't able to see my orientation leader again, but he was super helpful throughout the entire process. But after that last session, which was the only session of the day, it started at 9 and just ended at the point when you would actually get your classes and be set. So that was super nice. If you got things done super quickly, you were all good probably honestly by like 11 or something, but I finished around like 12. It just took a while to try to figure out what classes to actually take because some would be full, but I found something that worked out, so that was great. And I'm actually going to tell you guys my school schedule now because I was able to get that. And being in college, you can choose whatever days and whatever times you want to do, which is freaking awesome. Like that's so different from high school. So I was able to receive my schedule. So I have classes Mondays through Thursday, which is so nice. As of right now, I don't have a class on Friday, so I basically have a 3-day weekend every week, which is great. And they usually end at the latest around 3 p.m., which is stellar. But I actually do have intro to advertising on Mondays and Wednesdays, the dance appreciation class, my English 1A, which is just the basic English class, on Mondays and Wednesdays as well, my understanding health class, which is just like a physical health one, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then my like stats class, I have that class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have 5 classes with a total of 15 credits this next semester, which I'm super set and excited for, but also kind of scared because it's going to be an adjustment for college classes. But thank God we were supplied with the orientation handbook, because without this, I would be super lost. So thank you so much, San Jose, for making that. But anyways, after 12 p.m., I was all good and done with my orientation at San Jose State University. Overall, that is a very chill and informational experience. Definitely one that I recommend and I'm thankful for. Definitely would have preferred it to be in person and actually like dorming there at night, but I totally understand with, especially with the state of the world right now, that we have to do this, and I feel a lot safer actually doing it online just because of everything going on. I would say definitely make the most out of your online orientation experience, because it can be easy to be distracted by small things, but it's better to to pay attention. It's much less time consuming, especially after like not paying attention. You have to do your own research instead of actually asking questions then and there. So really happy about this experience, and I hope this gave you guys a little taste on everything that I had to experience within those 2 days. If you guys also will be attending San Jose State University in the fall of next year or something, leave your like Instagram username down below because I'll be sure to follow you guys because I love to make new friends. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below for new videos every single week. It would make me really happy, and I love putting out content for each of you guys. Follow me down below on my social medias. I'm very active on those, and that's basically it. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Bye, cuties!
It's yours.